All right, this will be fun. I did not buy this car to make money on you, whoever's watching. I owned the previous Model Y Performance, the 2023, up until September when I ordered this. We got this delivered yesterday morning at 10 a.m. sharp. I am the first United States delivery I've heard of so far. Open to correction, just comment. And I'm just gonna show you the ins and outs. I know a lot of people have questions about this. And the truth be told, you could just look up stats, and I'm sure you already have. That's not why you're here. You want to see how the stats translate into real life. I have not been many adult years without a Tesla. I love Teslas. I know a lot about them. I had the previous Model Y Performance. I'm gonna tell you what I think about it in reality. I'm not gonna show you any stats or anything. Those are all plainly obvious and out there. So one of the biggest leaps forward that everybody I think has seen, you can kind of hear ambient noise out here right now. We had a fire truck going. Just dead silent. It is so quiet in this cab. It's honestly a little startling coming from my old Model Y Performance, because the old Model Y Performance wasn't bad, but for being the price that it was, I bought mine, you know, for like $64,000 out the door after taxes. And to be that expensive, it was very, very middle of the road as far as road noise. You weren't impressing anybody with how quiet it was, but this is whisper quiet at highway speed. So if you've heard it, just know it is so true. And you can't really hear tire noise as much anymore. And I'll say that the engine noise has actually changed a bit too. Again, that might be a Model Y Juniper thing. My theory was that since it's so quiet in the cab, it's deadening sound from motors you used to hear. And now only a certain kind of whine is coming through. It's a little bit deeper. So it's super quiet inside. Okay, so for everybody out there wondering about the suspension, because I know that this is not the suspension package contained in the Model 3 Performance. This is new. I'm gonna talk about it, and there's a lot going on, so bear with me here. When we had our old Model Y Performance, mostly my wife's car, she would drive it around. That thing you had to keep spare Tylenol in because it'd freaking give you a headache everywhere you go. We test drove a Model Y Juniper rear wheel drive, and the suspension was so on a different planet. It really pushed us over the edge to sell our old Model Y Performance and get in line for this, which I did 2 months ago, September. And the ride handling on this car is so freaking good. But what I'll say is that the Model Y Juniper, the rear wheel drive, all wheel drive, all that, they're a skosh better, I would say, more cloud-like than this. But this car has way more in common with the Juniper than my old Model Y Performance. My old Model Y Performance is nowhere close to as good as this. Like, not at all. They don't live in the same state. They don't have the same name. They just share the same lineage. This suspension is so good. So now, let me speak a little bit to the performance of it, because it's really good. So when you come in here, this isn't scientific, by the way. What's it like to drive? I'm gonna tell you what I think about the dynamic suspension, the adaptive dampers, based on my experience driving it. So standard is normal comfort mode that has a lot of body roll. Sport is normal comfort mode that has no body roll. That's literally all that I have found the difference to be. So yesterday we got this delivered. I've put probably 80 miles on it. I have done some unholy things with this car already. And I put it in standard and sport to aggressively carve a corner. And standard really lets the body roll a lot. And of course it's like extra level of plush. I will say you do notice a little bit less behavior on the bumps and cracks in the road when Sport is engaged, but for the most part, Sport rides fantastic. It just doesn't let the car roll as much on turns. Like I struggle wanting to put it in standard that often because Sport is so good. And of course, my wife is gonna live on standard, on all of this standard. But for me, like the person who was motivated to buy a car like this, the Sport is so good, I almost never change it out. When I get on the highway and I know I'm not gonna be doing anything dodgy, I just flick it back in standard. So that is kind of my take on the suspension there. Comment if you have any questions and things that I missed. I wish I could transfer the feeling of driving this car to you across the camera, because a lot of this is Juniper too, but like the steering wheel is so soft and new. The steering feel is engaging. The new blinker, I'm so glad it's here, but it also feels fantastic. This carbon fiber insert, it's just nice. There's just a lot of stuff in this car that is so high-end compared to the one that I bought years ago. I am a bit upset that we are not getting a track mode. Somebody will have to comment if you know more. I mean, are we gonna get anything? Like, I guess I have a launch mode here. We should do a 0 to 60 run. It feels quicker than my old one, that is for sure. We have floored it a couple times, and yeah, it's a monster. I can't sing the praises of these seats enough. You will get in these seats and it will not be a feature you don't notice. Like, you will notice these instantly and you will love them instantly. The bolsters are sick. The thigh extension is nice to have. I haven't done anything with mine yet. It kind of starts to feel like a couch rather than a car when you do that, but we'll mess around with it at some point. And they just look really good. One thing I'll say is that the headrests are kind of just as firm as the old ones. But I guess if it wasn't broke, don't fix it. And I don't know if that really needed fixing. The sound system is still fantastic. I'm a fan of the design choice to switch this back to white faux leather rather than the suede. Suede definitely has its place though in a car like this. And I think the headliner would have been the place. But you know, that's okay. The back is just as spacious as before. You just forget how much space you have back here. I'm still learning to use this screen. I don't even know what to do with it. So far, it's just an outlet to get pranked by whatever friend you're bringing around back here. So I've seen some YouTube videos going around from popular Tesla content folks, and they're saying that a lot of people are having issues with their Model Y performance delivery, like problems right off the bat, and they're saying that it's like common. I haven't had any problems. In fact, I'll be open with you and tell you there was one problem, and that was that the car got a rock chip on the delivery truck on its way from Texas, and they put in a IOU essentially, and once they get the new windshield in, they'll contact me and I'll go in, get it replaced for free. So I know all the bugs and crap I'm getting on the windshield right now will be replaced, but I can't count that as like an actual issue. Could have happened to any car. But like the fit and the finish, vibrations and rattles on the inside, it's been perfect. No issues. But I will be honest and tell you if I have one in the future, because that wouldn't be fun, of course. Coming from the old Model Y performance, I'm loving how squared off the front seems to be, but I'm not a hater of the old look. In fact, I still hold a place in my heart. The old face design, I love it, and I don't think it'll ever be something I don't like, but the rear, I think, has just jumped 20 years into the future. It looks so much better. I mean, just check out the back. This thing's got like a square jaw in the back. I love it. And get ready to explain to everybody what the difference is between this and plaid, because I don't know why that's people's favorite thing to ask, but it gets old. Oh, that is sick. Yeah, some of this is new to me, but it's not to anybody. But give me some room because it's new to me. That is sick. As far as the screen size goes, I know it's the biggest in a Tesla today. Having sold my Model Y 2 months ago and it's been some time, this feels identical. Me and my wife were talking about how we really couldn't tell that it was bigger. However, I'm sure if we had driven the Model Y to that appointment and then taken this, it would have been more obvious. Glad it's the biggest screen, I'm all for that. It's the only control center in the car. So I'm for making it bigger, and I'm for making it tilt next year, Tesla. To tell you the truth, I feel a bit bad because a video like this, you gotta showcase the good and the bad, and I just haven't found any nitpicks with this yet. Either they're not here, because I'll tell you the big nitpicks with my old Performance are gone in this, but I'm sure I just haven't owned this long enough. I want to come up with some constructive criticism for this car, but I'm not just gonna make up something. Like, I just need more time with the vehicle. And I think how we ought to do this is I want y'all to comment and tell me what you want to see. I just wanted to put this out here preliminarily, but I still need to live with the vehicle. So tell me some stuff you want to see and I will make some updates, and I'm sure I'll get mud flaps for this and other things. So we'll get there. But let me know what you guys think about it. Comment your questions. I usually respond pretty dang quick. Till next time.